Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel. Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. And this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Okay, there's a lot happening here in Aries. So keep your head on. A lot of heat is happening out here. Okay, so we're going to start with the full moon in Libra, which is opposite of Aries. And it's called the pink moon. It'll be at 12 degrees of Libra, and it will be Pacific Standard Time, 7:11 p.m. Okay? This is fiery cardinal energy, leadership energy, initiation energy. Okay, the energy is hot, forward moving, and aggressive. So beware. Okay, you may feel the heat already. The month starts out with the sun in Aries and Mars meeting Neptune and Saturn in Aries this month as well. Okay, the new moon on the 17th is 27 degrees of Aries at 4:51 a.m. and it forms a powerful stellium. And this is just a parade of planets in the sign of Aries, somewhere in one of your houses. Just depend on where the rising sign is for you. Okay, so we have Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, the Sun, Moon, and the wounded healer, Chiron, in Aries as well, conjuncting Aries. So there's a lot to unpack here in your chart, but just note that there is an area of concentrated energy somewhere in your chart in one of the houses. And where that is for you is going to be that intense city. Okay, the energy is intense. You could have arguments about different things depending on where it is, because Aries and Mars, okay, they take action first and think later. Okay, so they can be impulsive. So just beware of any impulsivity that you may have. Try to think about it before you know, put it out there, because during this time, what you put out, you can't take back. That's the thing. But this is all about growth, okay? Maturity, all right? So, just so you know, this is happening for you and not just to you, okay? And we all are experiencing this simultaneously. It just depends on where this stellium is in your chart, okay? So let's get going and talk about the rising signs and where this stellium is going to be in your chart, all right? See you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Cancer risings out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for April 2026. Okay, so here we have a full moon squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And this is happening on the 1st. But we also have a stellium of planets in Aries. And wherever Aries is in your chart, it's going to be intense. And all of the planets are in forward motion, which is going to accelerate things in our life up at a rapid pace. Okay? We also have rebellious Uranus creating sudden changes, moving into the sign of Gemini this month as well. So there's a lot happening in the skies, and it's happening to us and for us as well. So, especially with this energy in Aries, you have to keep your head on straight, okay? You have to try not to be impulsive and pushy, because there's a lot of energy that wants you to be just that, you know. So this is about maturity, about growth that's happening here. And this has never happened before in our lifetime, because this is the first time that Pluto and Saturn has, not Pluto, but Neptune and Saturn has been in Aries together with a formation such as this. Okay, so we have yet to see how this is going to unfold for the whole planet. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the full moon on the 1st is in the sign of Libra, and it's squaring Jupiter in Cancer. And Libra is opposite of Aries in every chart, okay? So this is happening in your fourth house. The full moon is happening in your fourth house of home, of your security, safety, real estate, your family, your ancestry, okay? And Jupiter is in Cancer in the first house of your personality, of your style, how you think, how you see yourself, how others view you as well. Okay, how you speak, the whole package. Okay, and this is happening in your first house. So here, it's a square, and squares mean a tug of war. You know, there's a push and pull energy here, but it's meant for growth. Okay? Your emotions may be amplified around home-related issues, such as family disputes or moves, demanding diplomatic resolutions. Okay, and the diplomatic resolutions comes from that Libra energy, because Libra is about harmony and balance. You may experience mood swings, over optimism, that's Jupiter. That may lead to letdowns or losing sight of your personal boundaries. That can definitely happen. That's on the 1st, but we're letting go of things that no longer serve us as well, okay? So on the 3rd, we have Venus and Taurus in your 11th house of large organizations, your friendship groups, membership groups. Let's see, hopes and wishes, your luck as well. And your 8th house is your house of debt, transformation energy, psychological energy, shared resources, other people's money, banking, loans, esoteric, you know, like psychic energy, occult. And I did say psychological, I think I did, but that's the 8th house energy. Okay, and there's a square here. So your group dynamic relationships may face jealousy, control issues, that's part of the 8th house, or sudden revelations, urging you to form authentic bonds over superficial ones. Financial or shared resources may trigger crisis that reshape your long-term goals, because Pluto is transformative, or your community ties. So just know that, that's going to be happening, with the people, your group dynamic here. And that could also mean your coworkers as well. So on the 5th, we have the Sun in Aries squaring Jupiter in Cancer. So the Sun is in your 10th house. And this is your house of public reputation, your career, your authority figures. Okay, I'm trying to get distracted here. And your co-workers. All right. And then we have Jupiter in Cancer in your first house. And this is your, house of self. So you may feel driven to launch projects or seek recognition. You may be overconfident and this may lead to professional overextension, like overdoing it, and testing your optimism. Limit your indulgence of overworking or accept excessive optimism by setting your boundaries here, okay? Because Jupiter is expansive and it will try and do more than you can, okay? Such as time limits. It says by setting boundaries such as time limits on professional networking and celebrating incremental wins to build confidence without excess, because Jupiter can act in excess. So, every little bit is what you want to reward or celebrate, the little wins. You don't have to look for the whole shebang all at once. Okay, so we're going to move to the 9th, and Mars moves into Aries in the 10th house, and Mars rules the sign of Aries. So here, expect a surge of confidence to pursue bold career moves like starting projects, seeking promotions, or asserting authority at work. More visibility may put you at risk of conflicts with bosses or colleagues due to your impatience or aggression. And this is part of the configuration of Mars in Aries, because they are aggressive, they act first and think later. So this is where you have to hold your head and reflect on what it is that you are moving to, and make sure that you stop and think about it before you act, because some of the things that can happen with Mars in Aries is that you may act in a way that is aggressive and you can't take that back. Okay? So on the 12th, we have Mars in Aries conjuncting Neptune. This is also happening in your 10th house of career. So Cancer rising, there is this concentration of energy that is going to peak around the new moon in your 10th house. So this energy is all Aries concentrated. And it may cause some problems, with your thinking process and how you feel, because it's heavy. All right? So your motivation is high, but your direction may be unclear. You may feel a strong urge to pursue a calling or a visionary project, but the details, boundaries, or responsibilities may feel blurry or exaggerated. And that's part of the theme for Neptune, is to blur or fog and exaggerate situations. Okay? So your public image or career may be colored by illusion. That's Neptune. Others may inflate your role. You may overpromise, or you may be seduced by an idealized view of status, fame, or success. A burst of idealistic action can occur around causes, okay? Humanitarian, creative work, or spiritual oriented projects. But follow through skills are required. And with Aries here, Aries have a tendency to start things but don't finish. So sometimes Aries energy needs a team effort. Okay? So on the 15th, we have Mercury moving into Aries, and this is occurring in your 10th house as well. Okay? You may experience lively discussions with bosses or clients in your pursuit of recognition or advancement. Okay? Short trips or training related to your job may arise. This is Mercury in energy. Business expansion or income gains are also possible here. However, impulsiveness risks hasty words, and that's that Aries energy, okay? So you have to be careful, and don't forget we're leading up to the new moon, and that's when all of this Aries energy is going to be activated in a cluster, okay? The stellium. All right, so on the 16th, we have Mars in Aries conjunct Saturn. And this is happening in your 10th house as well. So during this transit, you may feel restless and impatient while simultaneously sensing restrictions, criticism, or structural limits, which may stir frustration or buried anger. Now, this is Saturn placing restrictions and limits on your energy here. And Mars in Aries is not really, don't like that. But it's for, for the best. So, yeah, frustration or your anger may arise, but you have to know that you have to learn how to have some self control. Okay? You may sense that your status, promotion, or public role is on trial, which makes you more cautious about how you present yourself. Okay? So, this is a test. This is what Saturn does. It tests to see if we're ready for the next step. Okay? So, you may be in your feelings about it, but you can go ahead and step into the test energy. All right, so here's the new moon on the 17th at 27 degrees Aries at 4:51 a.m. at in your 10th house. This is where the activation happens for the stellium and the conjunctions here. Okay? So develop business plans, seek promotions, or make moves towards your true vocation. Your focus is heightened on your reputation and societal role, and your emotional drive is to leave a meaningful mark. Stand firm in your ideas when challenged by authority. Okay, so here is the thing. This new moon is going to conjunct Chiron. Mercury in Aries is going to conjunct Neptune. The Sun, Moon, and Chiron conjuncts in Aries. Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn forms a powerful stellium in Aries as well. So this is such a big activation. time where, of course, you may feel discombobulated in your public reputation, in your career life, but just know you're not the only one going through this activation. It may not be happening in people around you the same 10th house. It may be happening in their first, in their fourth, in their seventh. It could be anywhere, but we're all experiencing this activation. Okay? So on the 20th, the sun moves to Taurus and relieves us of some of this activation of Aries energy. Okay, and this is happening in your 11th house around large groups, memberships, your friendship zones, your co-workers, your wish and hopes and wishes are also here. And this is where people that you're connected to can help you manifest your dreams, your hopes, and your wishes. You may be drawn to spend time with friends, join groups, or contribute to causes that align with your values. This is a favorable time to expand your social or professional circles, pitch group projects, or collaborate with others. Okay? So on the 23rd, you have Venus and Taurus conjuncting Uranus, and this is happening in your 11th house as well. So your friendships or team projects may undergo sudden changes, such as a friend reappears out of the blue, a group shifts direction, or you are introduced to people who feel very different from your usual circle. And that's part of the Uranian energy. It's always bringing up people who are different, like that Aquarius energy. People who are more authentic and freedom loving people. You may be drawn to original, experimental, or offbeat social experiences, unconventional parties, tech-driven networks. We're moving fast into a technological societal experience as well, or causes that feel progressive or futuristic. Okay? You may self-evaluate whether your friendships or networks truly honor your individuality or if they have become too routine and stagnant. And that's Uranus busting a move, okay? So on the 25th, we have the sun is in Taurus, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And the sun in Taurus is happening in your 11th house of, membership group experiences. And Pluto in Aquarius is, of course, again in your 8th house of transformation, debts, psychological issues, intuitive knowledge, psychic energy, other people's money, shared resources, things that are hidden as well. Okay, so here, this transit forces upheaval and exposes manipulative undercurrents or obsessive control in your social cycles, in your social circles. So remember, Pluto is about transformation, power, and control, okay? So you may feel pulled, that square, between confronting group stability and a radical urge to dismantle outdated emotional issues such as releasing toxic group ties or hidden traumas or even financial entanglements here, okay? But there's a lot to unpack in the eighth house. So with this square, it's definitely shining light on the depths of change that can make you a better person. Okay, so the last thing we'll talk about is Uranus moving into Gemini. Wow, and this is happening in your 12th house of the hidden, the retreat, your own self undoing, the unconscious karma, karmic contracts, escapism, spirituality. Okay, so these are things that are happening behind the scene. Uranus is in Gemini, is working on your subconscious behind the scenes. So your repressed thoughts may surface through erratic dreams, and Uranus is like bursts of electric energy, things that happen all of a sudden that can be seen as erratic. Nervous energy, that's some Gemini energy, or random epiphanies, okay? Things that just come up. And it also has to do with rewiring how you process reality internally, okay? Spiritual awakenings or eccentric encounters can challenge your limiting beliefs, while your sudden need to fluctuate in ways that are unpredictable. No, while your solitude needs to fluctuate in ways that are unpredictable. You may blurt unspoken truths or abandon outdated thought loops, craving authentic expression amid subconscious chaos. Okay? And that is real. Okay? Unconscious chaos can happen with Uranus. Okay? And this is, of course, happening, you know, for you, Cancer rising. So, this is your forecast for the month of April. And until next time, bye for now.